What's up YouTube, Loading Chimney Acres here, and today I'd like to discuss a little setback I had with my 2024 TYM 2515H. So if you watched my last review, the 117-hour review video, I briefly discussed a hydraulic leak that was down in here. I will post a picture or videos if I could splice it into this review of that particular leak, but it's a leak for the draft valve control. So it's where this connects to the top of the rear end in there. And I blew out a silicone seal around the 33-hour mark on this tractor. Dealership fixed it under warranty, and I made a 117-hour review on how the repair was still doing great, and then at 120 hours I got quite the whiff of hydraulic fluid, and I hopped off the tractor quick and checked underneath the seat, and sure enough, that RTV silicone seal, whatever, blew out again in the same exact spot. And like I said, if I can splice pictures or videos in of that, I will. If not, you're gonna have to use your imagination. But anyways, I brought it back to the dealership again, and I dropped it off March 31st. And the dealership tore it all apart. They took a look inside, and they found 4 out of 6 bonded seals were compromised within the rear end of this tractor, where all the hydraulics are ran. And they had to special order those parts from TYM because they were not anywhere in the country. They could not find a dealership or any suppliers within the United States that had those bonded seals. So to make a long story short, I dropped the tractor off March 31st, and I did not pick up my tractor until June 12th. So I don't want to make this a dragged out video any longer than it should be. I will say that my dealership was phenomenal, 10 out of 10. They offered me a loaner for the inconvenience, but it is a bit of a reality check in buying one of these machines and realizing that maybe TYM America and the parts availability just isn't there yet. I don't know. It could be just one of those parts that isn't supposed to break, and it's not typically stocked in dealership inventory. That could be an issue. But regardless, it took, several months for my tractor to be fixed. And it begs the question, where the tractor's a year old and it was a difficult part to find, will it get better in years to come, or will it get worse? I don't know. But it was a little bit of a reality check for me that, maybe this wouldn't have been such a long waiting period if this was a green tractor or an orange tractor. Maybe not, I don't know. But I did have to wait several months. The parts did come from overseas, and it is what it is. But if you noticed, I had my dealership install rear remotes and a hydraulic top link. So that was at an additional charge, of course, but I guess there's a silver lining in everything. So I figured, since the tractor was there for so long, let's put some add-ons on her. But I still love the tractor, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put the rear remotes on it. I still plan on keeping it forever. But I guess all we can say is that it was a reality check that, maybe TYM America isn't fully 100% in terms of parts availability. I know other people have had horror stories on Facebook about waiting 6 months. I guess wheels and tires, well, specifically wheels, are a little bit difficult to come by for these machines. I don't know, but it's something just to keep in mind, that buying a machine from overseas with limited dealerships and networks in the United States, because compared to orange and green tractors, they are a little bit newer. to the market. I mean, the Branson line, which this tractor is technically a Branson, they've been around for quite a while, but still, you know, the parts availability weren't great in my regards, but just something to keep in mind, just to, if you're considering on buying one of these tractors. Overall though, I'm really happy to have my tractor back. Now I can hopefully make a video on my grapple and some other things with this tractor. And again, like I've said before in previous videos, I'm not sponsored by TYM or anything like that. I bought this tractor and I just want to give a quick reality check to the viewers on YouTube, because I certainly had a reality check when I was missing my tractor for several months. So yeah, thanks for watching. Just more information on YouTube, the better. It's a quick little insight. And again, I think I've mentioned this in my last video about the leak, and I have yet to find any other machine on the internet that had this particular issue with the draft control valve leaking, which ended up being bonded seals that blew out. So this might just be a one-off problem. I hope it is just a one-off problem and I was the only one with that issue, especially because those bonded seals are very difficult to obtain. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Take care.